Chris the Nightmare Ariel, and you're watching Mr. Boxing Today on YouTube.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? All right, man. So people have been asking me my opinion about Joseph Parker and his team. They've came out and made it pretty clear that they want Deontay Wilder next, not down the road, not when it makes sense. They don't want it to simmer or marinate or whatever other cooking term that boxing fans want to use when it comes to putting a fight together. They want the fight. And first, before I really get into everything, let me, I should give them a damn round of applause, man, because I'm happy to hear that. I'm happy to hear that a title holder actually wants to unify, or he wants to fight as mandatory. He doesn't want no BS defense of his title in his hometown to milk it and all that type of shit. They're coming out and they want the tough fights. And Dave Higgins, he had an interview, I forget which radio station it was, man, or which podcast, but the things he was saying in that interview, man, was just music to my ears. I don't remember what he said actually verbatim. I should have pulled it up in front of me, but he pretty much came out and said that, they're not worried about losing. If they lose, then hey, at least they lose trying to unify and make good fights and build on their legacy. And you got to respect that. They're not going to, as he said, they're not going to avoid fights. They're not going to avoid them. They're going to lose. If they lose, they're going to lose trying to unify. I love it, man. I love it. Now, you guys know, if you've been following me for longer than a year or, around that time, at least as far as this channel's been up and with my other channel that I had, Mr. Boxing Today, that channel that I had up in 2010, you guys know that I'm all for unification and undisputed. I'm for that. All right. So I want to see a unification match. And I want to see an undisputed champion. Now I understand that Alexander Povetkin is getting ready to fight Bermane Stiverne on Saturday here, and the winner of that fight, they're set to fight Deontay Wilder. They will have earned their chance to get a crack at Deontay Wilder. They will be the WBC interim champion. All right. Now I was looking at the WBO, and I was looking at the WBC's rules and regulations as it concerns fighting your mandatory and just the rules for the title holder when he has to defend his title. And looking at the rules for both sanctioning bodies, both of the sanctioning bodies, unification fights, unification tournaments take precedence over mandatories. I think in the WBC it's called special fights. Like if you go to their section of their rules, it's special fights. So both of these sanctioning bodies want unification over mandatories, but I think both of them give you a certain time limit that you have to fight your mandatory once that unification fight is over with, or once that tournament, if it's a unification tournament, is over with, then you have to fight your mandatory. Now, I know if you're a pro Povetkin fan or even a pro Stiverne fan, you want your guy to get his title shot. You're a big fan of that guy. Or you just may be a fan of mandatories getting their shots, and that's fair enough. I'm not going to argue with you. My thing is, I'm a fan of undisputed and unifications over everything. Even if my favorite fighter is the mandatory, and he hasn't got his shot and it's been over a year, I understand, but I want to see unification. I want to see an undisputed champion. The last undisputed champion in heavyweight was Lennox Lewis. That WBC title hasn't been unified with another title, which I believe was the IBF when Lennox had it. 2002. That was like my third year of college, man. 2002. So that was a long time ago. Long time ago. Some of you guys probably wasn't even watching boxing yet. You know what I mean? So long overdue. It's long overdue, man. Now Hughie Fury is sitting in an excellent position right now because he's in negotiations with Deontay Wilder. And he is the next highest rated available opponent for the WBO. He's rated number 5. Okay. David Haye is rated ahead of Hughie Fury, but he's getting ready to fight Tony Bellew. So nobody wants to sit around and wait for David Haye. And that fight isn't even until March. We want Parker back in the ring by March. You know what I mean? So Hughie Fury is rated number 5. Jarrell Big Baby Miller is rated number 6. All right. Now, previously, I did say that And this, this was right after Ruiz and Parker just got done fighting. It was literally like an hour after the fight. And at that time, yes, I did say that I would like to see a rematch. I wasn't demanding it or anything, but I would like to see a rematch. Thought it was a close competitive fight. And then I was saying if they happen to rematch, then I think that Hughie Fury should fight Jarrell Miller so we can have a clear cut mandatory. But hey, if the WBO decides that no, we don't need to have them fight in the eliminator, Hughie Fury's the next guy up, I'm fine with that fight. It's not like I don't want to see Hughie Fury fight a Joseph Parker or a Deontay Wilder. I'm fine with the fights. You know what I mean? I'm fine with Hughie Fury fighting rather. With that said, though, I think we need to just eradicate Hughie Fury from this situation and let these guys unify this title. I would like for this fight to take place in March, or hey, have it in April with the Vladimir Klitschko versus Anthony Joshua fight. You could probably have it at the beginning of April or the very end of March because the Klitschko and Joshua fight is happening April 29th. I think we should get these two bouts taken care of by the springtime, and then by the summertime, let's have our undisputed champion. Summer or maybe fall, let's get the undisputed champion going. I made a video, some of you probably remember, probably a few months ago, that I said that I predicted that we would have an undisputed heavyweight champion by the end of 2017. So hopefully the fighters, the promoters can prove me right. You know what I mean? Prove me right, man. Let's have an undisputed champion. So hopefully Deontay Wilder takes up this offer. I know when I converse with other fans, they believe that Wilder should come back and take on a voluntary defense to shake off the rust, to make sure his hand's okay. And I always disagree with that, man, because if Wilder comes back in March or April, he would have been out for 8 or 9 months, okay? Stavern is getting ready to fight Povetkin on Saturday. Both of those guys been out for 13 months. Now, I understand that both of those guys are not coming off of the same surgeries that Deontay Wilder had, but they still been out for 13 months. I didn't hear Stavern say, oh, no, before this important interim fight, I've been out for 13 months. I think I'm going to need a tune-up. I didn't hear Povetkin say that. They're just going to fight each other. Stavern's previous fight he had with Derek Rossi, the time gap between his Derek Rossi fight and his Wilder fight was, I think it was like a 10-month gap. So Wilder won't be the first guy that's coming back, man. After being out for an extensive time to come right into a, quote, tough fight. You know what I'm saying? It's just 8 or 9 months. I mean, he's been in good, he stays in shape in between fights. And to me, you'll get high quality sparring to test your hand out. Get high quality sparring and you can test your hand out in sparring. But I don't think he needs a warm-up fight, a stay busy fight. I really don't think he needs any of that. I think he needs to jump right in to fighting his mandatory. Or if Parker and Wilder's side can get this fight signed for us fans, take that fight first. If we don't see that fight, then fight Povetkin and Stavern. They're fighting Saturday. The winner of that should be ready. Barring any serious injuries, the winner of that should be ready April. You know what I'm saying? At the latest. Let's get this shit underway. We don't need to take 6-7 months off and all that, man. Let's get these guys right back in the ring and let's get this over with. But if that doesn't take place, I want to see Parker versus Wilder. So we'll see what's going to happen. Like I said, Hughie Fury is in an excellent position because he's negotiating with both. But like I said, they need to just take him out of the equation, cancel him out for right now, and let the title holders take care of business. Now, I'm not sure how Ryabinski and Povetkin are going to take to this if they win this fight on Saturday as far as sitting back and waiting. But to me, this isn't even a Povetkin, Ryabinski, or Stavern, or Hughie Fury thing. It's just a unification thing, and we need an undisputed champion. That's what I want. I'm a fan of all those fighters I named, Fury, Stavern, Povetkin, but I'm more of a fan of unification and undisputed. Some people may disagree. They may say, nope, he needs to fight as mandatory. Well, I guess we're going to have to just disagree with each other because I want to see an undisputed champion. Really not much else to say. Hopefully Wilder takes this fight. I don't see what the holdup should be. I know, again, you go back to Wilder's hand and he needs a warm-up, some people think. And I'll bring this point up again. Like I said, a lot of people thought him fighting Chris Arreola was a waste of time, right? A lot of fans thought that. And guess what happened in that fight? He got injured. It doesn't matter who he fights, whether it's a warm-up, a stay busy, a mandatory, or unification. The risk of him hurting his hand is going to be high regardless of who he fights. Like I said before, it's not like Wilder's going to go in there and not hit you as hard because you're his voluntary. Or he's not going to try for the KO or land a big right hand because you're a voluntary. Like he's going to save it for his, quote, tough fight. No, Wilder's going to go in there and try to knock your head off regardless. No matter where you're rated, whether you have a title or not, that's what he's coming to do. So the risk of him hurting his hand is going to be high regardless who he fights. He's had three different surgeries on his hand. So, and then again, if let's say it happens the way some of you fans want it to happen, he takes a, quote, stay busy fight. What if he hurts his hand in that one? Do we just keep taking stay busy fights, to test his hand out? It doesn't work like that, At least, it shouldn't. That sounds ridiculous. You know what I mean? He will only be out, like I said, for 8 or 9 months. It's not like the guy's been out since 2014. This isn't a Fred Kendo situation. You know what I mean? It's not, he hasn't been out for years, man. Just 8 or 9 months once he steps back in the ring. He just fought in July against Chris Arreola. You know what I mean? So Parker wants to fight, and I got to applaud the young man and his team. I didn't think Deontay Wilder was anywhere near on the radar for those guys, and they want him next. You guys let me know what you think about this fight. Do you think Deontay Wilder should take the fight? When do you think the fight should happen? Who do you think will win the fight? And I think this is a collision course for us to have an undisputed champion. Wilder said he wants to be the undisputed champion. The next step is to take on the next available title holder. Yes, I know he wants Anthony Joshua. That's what Showtime wants. But they will have to work their way towards that because Joshua's getting ready to fight Klitschko. It's already set for April 29th, Wembley. So Wilder and Parker need to do the next best thing, and that's fight each other. Right? We're only a couple fights away. Let's just get it done, man. Let's get it done, and let's see an undisputed champion get crowned, man. We haven't had one since Lennox Lewis. Long overdue. You guys let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm out.